Akash Inti, your favorite reflection of you. Here to talk to you guys today about reflections. We'll get into what are reflections, why are we talking about them, and most importantly, well, how do reflections relate to communication? As always, if you guys enjoy this content, like, comment, subscribe, and with that, on to reflection. The funny thing about reflections is that the first time I saw my reflection was when I looked into this thing called water. Remember, there's a bath or some such thing, and I was really, really young, probably, I don't know, less than 2 years, less than a year maybe. It's one of the first memories, you know? I look down, and as I look down and I see my reflection in the water, I didn't know what to think. I was like, what is that? Is that me? Because it sure as hell doesn't feel like me. But at the same time, that's what everything around me is telling is me. But a part of me knows that that's not really me. So, in those moments, I realized that I was simultaneously the reflection in the water, myself, and none of them. Now, what am I talking about? I don't know. It's just poetry, you know? You just do these things sometimes. Sometimes I just like to speak poetry, if you will. In all seriousness, though, why are reflections important in communication? Why does one think about them? Why does one talk about them? It's a way of seeing yourself. It's a way of expressing yourself. It's a way of understanding the world around you and seeking to relate with it. So many times, we're looking to relate to someone else. We're looking to connect with someone else and understand them. But what most people fail to recognize is that it's never the other person. It's actually always themselves. Whenever they're talking to another, what they're really talking to is a version of themselves. And so it's absolutely incredibly intriguing and interesting just to hear how others are able to relate to themselves in such a way that just shows who they are. In other words, when others speak to you, when others communicate outwards, they're saying everything about what's going on the inside of them. And it's so important as a communicator to be aware of this. It's so important for us to understand and know that what they're saying out to us says nothing about us and everything about them. And to relate to that piece of them. Because all of us have been at every single stage in life. I really don't believe that you cannot relate to another person, because there's some common experiences that everyone has as a human being. Like having a sip of amazing water on like an 100-degree day. Or when one is really thirsty. Going to a birthday party. Things of this nature, there's some basic things. Even breathing, just get down to breathing and you can relate to someone. Like, oh yeah, it's kind of hard to breathe today. Yeah, that's how you can relate to someone, because someone else has probably experienced that. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is finding common ways to relate to others. There's a beauty in seeing your reflection for what it really is. There's a beauty in not recognizing or not accepting the reflection. There's a pain in both of these as well, but as we all know, pain is beauty and beauty is pain. Today, take a look at your reflection. Take a moment to appreciate that reflection. and say, I love you. Keep up, thrive, and stay sexy.